What's good, everybody? It's your boy Mr. Cheap Sense here, just getting in. As you all know and or saw the video I did earlier, we are working on a tag video for us smaller time channels. Mr. Sam Broom graciously accepted I guess you can't really call it a challenge, but he accepted my tag. I know this is probably not how tag videos are started, but this is our thing. We're gonna do it how we want to do it. So whatever Sam decides to talk about in this tag video, it is what it is. It's game on from there. So it don't even have to be strictly about fragrances. It can be about, you know, everyday stuff. It can be about fashion. It can be about politics. It can be about basketball, football, anything that he wants to do a tag video on. I don't really care. But being that these are fragrance channels, I know a lot of people want to hear about fragrances, so I'm pretty sure it's going to be about fragrances. But just to broaden the horizon, I know a lot of people like sports, so whatever people bring to the table, it is what it is with me. I don't really care. We can just do it just to have fun, however you want to do it. Okay, so I know for me, I've had a lot of different fragrances over the years. Even some that I have had to sneak and spray. When my cousin used to live with us when I first moved here to Brunswick, Georgia, he used to go to work, and right before I went to middle school, I would go in his collection and steal his colognes and spray them on. And he had stuff like black suede and all that kind of stuff. And I used to love black suede. So the fragrances that he had were kind of old school, but they smelled great to me at the time. I didn't really get into fragrances that deep. I mean, I had some my mom or whoever gave me gifts for Christmas and birthdays, and they just picked up any old random stuff. If they seen like an Adidas cologne or something somewhere, or you know, whatever, they would buy it for me, and I would wear it for a little while, and then it would either come up missing, or I just, you know, wouldn't have it anymore for some strange reason. But whatever the case may be, I honestly did not get into fragrances heavy until it was actually, I don't know if we were married with kids yet, but I know my ex-wife was the one who actually, and I talked about this before, my ex-wife was the one who actually bought the fragrance that kick-started me to loving fragrances and colognes. And the one she bought from me came from Walmart, and it actually was a bigger bottle than this, and I'm pretty sure it cost more than this one did. But the fragrance I'm talking about is this original Burberry. And I know it's kind of hard to see, but it just says Burberry for men. This is the one that kick-started everything for me in the world of fragrances. Now, mind you, when she bought this, yes, I was into fragrances, but I was more into like car and audio, like buying speakers and amps, and you know, I did a lot of installation type stuff back in my time. I can put TVs in. I still can. My body won't allow me to, you know, bend and contour and get in trunks and all this kind of stuff anymore like it used to. I'm getting old. I'm 41. My knees are bad. My back acts up at times. My Achilles tendons and both my feet hurt. So I don't do a lot of that. Every now and then somebody might come. I can, you know, change out an amp or put an amp in or put in a CD player. But all that extra stuff, I don't do a lot of that anymore. Y'all gotta excuse me. I gotta get my water in for the day. I've been drinking a lot of water lately, so trying to get my system flushed out. Stop drinking so many sodas and all that juice and stuff, Kool-Aid and stuff. But anyway, Uh, yeah. So she bought me my first Burberry cologne, and I was hooked on this one. When I first smelled it, that was it for me. Yes, over time I started getting into scented oils and all that kind of stuff, and I bought a lot of it. But for the most part, this was the number one fragrance I've ever owned that actually kick-started me to being into fragrances heavy. Like, this one started the love for me. I know everybody else is going to have similar opinions and similar ordeals when it comes to fragrances and which ones kick-started them. But this was mine. This one is not a groundbreaking fragrance. Trust me. Damn good atomizer. But to me, it smells great. Perfect for office. It's not offensive whatsoever. Very good at work. I actually, like you guys know, I wore this to work today. Can be used as a date night scent also. Close encounter type scent. I did get one compliment today off of this one, in which back in the day when I used to wear it, I got a lot of compliments. But today I just got one, and it didn't really matter how many I got. I just know that people hate on fragrances like this. They hate on Mont Blanc Individual. They hate on, what's the other one that they hate on? It's Individual, F Black. This one. It's a few other ones that people hate on. And it's not really so much the people who love the more inexpensive fragrances. It's the ones who have moved up and got into niche and indie and all this other stuff, and which I have no problem with. But don't ruin the experience for the people who haven't experienced fragrances like this. True enough, if you can find it for a decent price and not pay full retail for some of this stuff, I'm all for it. Go out there, buy Individual, buy F Black, buy Burberry, the original for men, buy whatever your heart's desire. Don't let us as reviewers, and I just had this conversation with another subscriber. Don't let us as reviewers deter you from purchasing what your heart desires. If you feel like you want to go out and buy a certain fragrance, or you see something, it's cool that he asked for my opinion. I get that. I gave him my honest opinion. Don't let me tell you, hey, I don't like that. It didn't smell good to me. Because that could just be my personal experience. You get that cologne or whatever it is, or perfume or baby wipe or whatever, and if it smells heavenly to you, then that's for you. I'm not going to sit here in front and fake like I like any and everything, because I don't. Some of the stuff that other people's like I'm going to take Trey Scents for example. That's my man's. I'm not trying to diss my man. At times, the fragrances, some of the fragrances that he talks about, like I'll take say Yachtman Blue. He might like Yachtman Blue. It's not a bad fragrance, but for me it's average. If I could think of something else that he talked about that he liked that I didn't really too much care for, I give it to you. But excuse me, there are fragrances that other reviewers love that I just consider average. That's just my opinion. Now, I don't want anybody to be offended by what I say when I jump in the comment section and say, well, that one didn't perform, but 1.5 hours in projection and maybe 4 hours longevity for me. That's my personal opinion. My body chemistry might not be able to take that fragrance. It might take for somebody else. So don't let us misguide or mislead you. Buy whatever your heart desires. If you feel like you want to try it, try it. The best thing to do, honestly, is if you can, get decants. I'm not telling you to go out and subscribe to Scentbird and all this other stuff, because Ash from Gent Sense broke it down to me, and not just to me, but I felt like he was speaking to me, because I almost subscribed to Scentbird one time, and I'm not knocking him, because this is how I personally feel, and I got the information for myself after he did his review, and they do have an F rating by the Better Business Bureau. They have a lot of complaints about people not getting their packages, people not getting refunds, and all this kind of stuff. But besides the point, the price per milliliter is what interests me, intrigued me. It doesn't add up. So if you go out, I'm gonna take and I just grab whatever. So if you take this bottle, which is 100 ml of Versace Loam, I got this one for, well, actually I got this one for a free. I got this one for free. But the one I bought, I think it was like 30 some odd dollars for it. So Scentbird gets you something like, it'll come in something like this, but it'll mostly be the twist kind that you just grab and you twist and the thing comes up, you spray, and then you twist it back down. You'll get something like this. Oh, that smells great. Whatever milliliter it comes in, that's what you get for $14 and 90 something cent. So about $15. You'll get something like this, which to me is not worth $15. This should be like $10, $5, or $7, something like that. Not $15 or $16, no. If you can find something like this for $20, then this isn't worth it. But I understand what most people are saying. Why spend $20 on something like this and you don't even know how it smells, and it ends up being trash? Now you stuck with a $20, $21, $22 fragrance that you're not even going to wear. Well, not necessarily you're not going to be stuck with it, because somebody always out there is going to be interested if you price it right. Of course, you're not going to get all your money back unless you stand firm to what you say and somebody is really interested in it. Yes, you will. But me personally, I don't really care. But anyway, getting off the subject, this fragrance, I heard Big Beard Business do, I watched his review of fragrances that are dated, and this fell in his list, along with a few others that I was like, grabs pearls. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't believe that he said that. And yes, individual, F black, and all that kind of stuff fell in there also. They say synthetic, generic. I understood what he said. Like, if these fragrances came out today, would they be able to stand up against the heavy hitters of the Dior Sauvages, the Bleu de Chanels, the Dior Hommes, and all that of the world today? And I don't think they would. If somebody seen this versus Bleu de Chanel or something on the shelf these days, they probably wouldn't even pick this up. And I'm not talking about people who know about this fragrance already. I mean newcomers. Like if somebody just walked in fresh off the street, had no idea about a lot of colognes, 9 times out of 10 they're going to pick the ones that they've seen commercials of, or they have heard people talk about a lot. And that's what we tend to do a lot. Everybody hypes up certain fragrances and the other ones get left behind. I can remember a time when I heard F Black was the it fragrance. I heard Individual was the it fragrance. I heard F Black was the it fragrance. I still see those videos floating around now. Older videos. People now talk about these fragrances like they're obsolete. And to people whose noses and taste have changed, yes, they're going to be obsolete because you're in a whole nother bracket. But for people like me and people that may be just getting into the fragrance game, these are great introductory fragrances to start a collection with, or to introduce somebody into fragrances. You don't want to just somebody fresh off the streets and you just drop them into the niche world. That's overwhelming to them. They have to start at the bottom. Unless you have the coin to go ahead and just jump straight in, then obviously go right ahead. But this fragrance, Burberry for Men, is the one that did it for me. I'm sorry if it seemed like I was all over the place with this video, but I get a little passionate when it comes to how people talk about fragrances sometimes. Not everybody is going to be a Creed Aventus fan. Not everybody is going to be a Black Phantom fan. Not everybody is going to be a Mancera fan or whatever else high fragrance, high price, overhyped fragrance is out there. You know, we can't just keep bashing stuff like this just because. If you don't want to buy it, cool. Simple as that. Why even review it if it's going to be dated, or if it's going to seem synthetic to you or generic or whatever like that? It makes no sense to me. Some people out there like this stuff or love this stuff, and some people just don't. And I'm not always going to be the one that's the yes man. Yes, a boss. Yes, a boss. I'm not the one who's going to agree with everything everybody else says, because I'm not the one who follows the hype train. I don't do that. But anyway, I'm not here to knock or judge anybody for what they're doing or what they're saying. I'm just saying we have to be careful sometimes in what we say, because we as reviewers are very influential. I can say something right now about a fragrance, and almost everybody that listens to me and believes in me will not go out and buy a certain fragrance. And the guys like Big Beard and Ash from Gent Scents and Robes 08 and all of them guys that's been in the game for years, they have that kind of power and that kind of influence also. Jeremy Fragrance and all them guys, they have that kind of influence that they can say Dior Homme sucks, don't go buy it, and people ain't gonna buy it. So we all as reviewers have to be careful with what we say sometimes when it comes to fragrances. And also, it's been stated in a video, I'm not gonna mention no name, people are bashing what we do as reviewers as far as going to like TJ Maxx and Ross and all of that, Marshalls. The drought happens everywhere. Not everyone is going to walk into their local discount store or rack store and find something that's sitting there on the shelf glowing like Bruce Leroy from The Last Dragon. That's not always going to be the case. I've been to several different stores lately in the past few days, and I haven't hardly found anything to my liking. But I've heard or seen other people's comments in the comment section say, man, your store is way better than mine. You got a lot more stuff. And I'm like, where? I don't see what you guys are seeing. But in their eyes, what I'm seeing that's not treasure, which is pretty much trash, everybody else looking at it as treasure. So, excuse me. So, the rack stores are not going to be for everybody. But that's not for us to jump on here and put down the rack stores and have people thinking that they don't have to. Yes, there are way more fragrances. There are way better fragrances online. You can go to Fragrance X, Fragrance Net, Fragrance buy.ca or whatever the hell all these other fragrance websites are. Yes, you can go in there, you can find stuff for cheap. You can find more, you know, there's a broader horizon of fragrances out there than just what you find at the rack stores. Yes, I get that. Not everybody is going to want to go through that though. It's more or less about the hunt of it. It's not always about being able to go online and be lazy and sit on your damn couch all day and just push buttons and shit just gets dropped off at your doorstep. I'm one of those type people who love to get out and see people and see what's out there, get fresh air, stretch your legs out. not sit in the AC all day and just kick back on the couch and just push buttons and shit just keeps popping up magically at your doorstep. I'm a firm believer in some of the old school ways, getting up and doing something, not just sitting around not doing nothing. So for those people who do that, that's your thing. That's what you choose to do. But stop knocking people who go to the rack stores, because we do find the same gems that you guys talk about, you find online, we can find in the rack stores at times. You just have to pick and choose different times. Like the holiday season is coming up. Those stores are going to be packed full of stuff. Especially after the holidays, like after Christmas and around New Year's and all that. All this stuff gets marked down and it goes on clearance. And people are going to be buying this shit up, man. So stop knocking people who go to rack stores. If that experience isn't for you, it's just not for you. So that's all I gotta say about that, man. Hope you guys like this video. Please make sure you hit the like button if you like this video. Even if you don't like the video, hit the dislike button. If you're not a subscriber, make sure you hit the subscribe button. The bell pops up. Ring the bell for notifications. The very top thing is gonna say is all. Hit all so you get all content that I put up on this page. Check out all of my fellow colleagues, whether they're on the top tier or the bottom tier, and I mean people like Robes 08, Ash from Gent Sense, E from Simply Put Sense, Jeremy Fragrance. I'm talking about Scent Nation, my man Sam Broom, Trey Sense. Everybody that I don't name right now, all of them, check everybody out. We're all under the same umbrella. Some people may be on higher tiers like I talked about earlier, but give everybody a chance. Go through, find these videos, reviewers. Even if you don't subscribe, just watch a couple of their videos and see if you get anything from it. If you feel like they're speaking to you, if this person don't speak to you, don't subscribe, but go to the next person. You don't have to leave negative comments in people's comment section. They don't care about all that. Most of them not going to respond to it anyway. But it is what it is, guys. This has been your boy Keith, aka Mr. Cheap Sense. Here's to smelling great. Peace. I'm out.